This wiggly worm is not a Goa'uld, and you know that because the eyes do not glow. But besides that, my beloved wife Ravenel and I have been watching Stargate. And of course the Goa'uld, there are parasites. They infect a host and then suppress their personality and take them over. Which is why in this talk, I'll be describing the concept of SLOP. SLOP is what happens when a lot of unnecessary things take your life over. For example, there's a popular term I've heard used with books and various motivational speeches. It's emotional vampires. People who don't literally drain your blood, but they take away your good emotions by filling you with a lot of loathing. Like, for example, they may pour a relationship of baggage and drama, as it's called drama, onto you. Drama mamas. And that is an awful, awful thing, because then any good spaces you had to create are infested with this slop, this sludge, this sewage. I have a saying that is, chop the slop, just very apt to the point. It's a great economy of words and applies because when you're going about in life, you want to cut that slop and just discard it. Who wants spam in their email? I can't think of a single freaking person. Who wants garbage all over their house? Well, there are some people who are pack rats, and that is unfortunate because they are just polluting their potential. I bet in their heads too, and I've known some pack rats, and I've done some of that myself. I can't judge them, but they have a lot of slop that they can judge, they could chop, or at least they could organize it easier. Would you rather have friends who are very supportive of you, contribute to your well-being, happiness, or would you want to have people in your life, and I hesitate to call them friends, who nag you, who ask to borrow money and never give it back, and so on and so forth? I've had the privilege and the sadness of having both these kinds of people in my life. Quite frankly, there's no nice way to put it in really sugar-coated terms, so I'm not going to. You need to cut those parasites, like the Goa'uld, out of your life. You should not have them in your life because they will just keep draining more and more. They need to learn to become self-sufficient. And some of them may grow, some of them may not. But that's their life to live. Their lives, brother. But the people who you're supportive of, who are supportive of you, then you create. This is a word I love, creativity. You'll help each other. You'll grow together. You'll nourish each other, add positivity. And it's the same thing with intimate relationships, not just friendships, but with your lovers. Some people are in sadomasochistic relationships where it's not just that, but it's very unhealthy because it's very draining. And not in a sort of, I take the power from you and I'll give it back. It's I take, and then you're not left with anything else. Far be it again for me to judge anyone's relationships, but that's how it is. And that's why I've chosen in my life to conscientiously and preach the word, to use an evangelistic term, but it's not just about dogma. It's simply about being healthy by keeping the simple things true. Does it make you happy? Is it giving and exchanging? That's what the stems of all these really, really nourishing, beneficial aspects of relationships you have in your life. If you give something to a friend, they should be giving something back. It's got to be an exchange. They can't just remove from you. And that's at the core of chop the slop. So I always ask myself every day, what slop have I chopped? What have I made more efficient? And to dispel any misconceptions, it's not about being a robot and chopping the slop. Efficiency is something that you can apply so you can have more fun. Or as I like to say, use fun, which is a portmanteau for useful fun. So there you have it. Chop the slop.